Jake Morgan, a 28-year-old software developer, returns to his rural hometown after a decade to settle his late mother's affairs. He has a strained relationship with his father, David, a retired mechanic. In the garage, under dusty tarps, sits a 1969 Jaguar E-Type, a skeleton of rust and neglect, once promised to be restored together. Jake plans to sell everything, including the garage. But a neighborhood kid, Elliot, asks if David will ever bring the Jag back to life. David replies, "Don't think I've got it in me anymore." Something stirs in Jake. The Jag isn't just a car, it's the last connection to his father and late mother. Jake starts alone. The first days are rough. Every bolt fights back. Every component tells a story of time. Flashbacks show young Jake watching his father work. His voiceover admits, "I thought leaving would make me stronger, but maybe staying is what takes real strength." David observes from the kitchen window. David never offers advice until one night he finds Jake struggling with the gearbox and says, "You're going to crack that housing if you force it like that." Their conversations begin to rebuild, cautiously. They start working together. Tools become their language. David opens up about his regrets, and Jake shares his own guilt. David opens up about his regrets, pushing Jake too hard, his pride costing their connection. Jake shares his guilt, chasing success but feeling empty. Meanwhile, the Jag comes alive piece by piece. Engine rebuild, suspension swap, custom detailing. They struggle, laugh, argue, and learn to listen again. The day comes. The car is complete, a perfect blend of its original classic charm and modern custom features. They take it for a test drive, open road, golden sunset, just the two of them. David, behind the wheel, says, "Drives smoother than I expected, so do we now." They stop at the hill overlooking the town. David tells Jake, "This place, this car, it's always been home. You just needed to find the keys again." Jake decides to stay, not just to run the garage, but to turn it into something new. A restoration and education center, teaching kids like Elliot how to work on real machines. Final shot, the Jag parked proudly. The Jag parked proudly outside the newly painted garage. Jake and David stand side by side, grease on their hands, smiles on their faces. Voiceover, sometimes second chances don't come with a clean start. They come with rust, dents, and hard-earned bolts. But when the engine turns again, so does life. Second gear, a father, a son, and the car that saved them both. Final runtime, 75 to 80 minutes. Theme, restoration, regret, reconciliation, legacy, and emotional healing, all set around the beating heart of a classic car. New scene 1, the letter from Mum. Jake finds a second letter his mother wrote hidden inside the Jaguar's glove compartment. If you're reading this, it means you're finally looking at the car again. Your dad never gave up on you, even if it looked like he did. And I believe, deep down, you never gave up on him either. This brings Jake to tears. It's the emotional spark that fuels his decision to commit fully to restoring the Jaguar, not just for himself, but for healing his family's fractured soul. New character, Lily, the local mechanic. Lily, 34, runs a nearby independent garage and was trained by David when she was younger. She drops by to return an old wrench and sees Jake working. She offers parts, advice, and encouragement. Her presence becomes a bridge between David and Jake, gently encouraging them to speak openly again. She also becomes a subtle emotional support for Jake, hinting at a future relationship without forcing one. New scene 2. The night breakdown. Jake sneaks in at night to work alone. He's stuck removing a rusted manifold bolt, loses his temper, and cuts his hand. David hears the commotion and rushes in. They have a heated argument, finally expressing years of resentment. Jake, you were always fixing everyone else's problems, but never had time to fix me. David, I didn't know how. You think you're the only one who lost something. Silence. David helps bandage Jake's hand. It's the first time they truly see each other's pain. New scene 3. Elliot's big ask. Elliot, the teen apprentice, tells Jake that his mum can't afford driving lessons and that cars are his escape. Jake lets him drive the Jag, carefully, just around the garage, under supervision. He tells David afterward, who's upset at first, but then says quietly, "That boy reminds me of you, before you left." They agree to start offering youth training once the restoration is complete. New scene 4. The car show invitation. Lily tells them about a classic car show in a nearby town. She secretly submits the Jaguar's restoration story. They're invited as featured guests. Jake is hesitant. David pushes him. You built this car, son. Show them what we built together. New scene 5. Speech at the car show. At the car show, people admire the car. Jake is asked to speak during the awards presentation. He steps up nervously. This isn't just a Jaguar. It's the space between two people who forgot how to talk and found their way back through steel and sweat. He thanks David. The crowd applauds. David cries quietly in the background, the first time he's cried in years. They win Best Restoration with Story. New scene 6. A garage reborn. They reopen the garage as Morgan & Son Restorations with Heart. Elliot becomes their first official trainee. Lily joins part-time, offering mentorship for girls interested in cars. Jake starts recording videos for the speed chapter, combining car builds with personal stories. We didn't just restore a car, we rebuilt what mattered most. The second gear isn't just for speed, it's for the turn. And in life, sometimes the most important shift is the one that slows you down, just enough to reconnect.